Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe von Popsession im Alex Radio und Alex TV. Es freut mich sehr, dass ihr eingeschaltet habt. Heute bei mir zu Gast im Studio ist Phia, eine ganz bezaubernde Australierin und mittlerweile Wahlberlinerin, die ein ganz ungewöhnliches Instrument für sich entdeckt hat. Und zwar ist hierbei die Rede von der Kalimba. Zusammen mit ihrer Loopstation, mit der sie verschiedene Sounds aufnehmen und wiedergeben kann, konstruiert sie in ihren Songs vielschichtige Klangwelten. Am besten lässt sich ihr Sound wohl als Experimentalpop beschreiben, aber wie sie das selbst sieht und was es mit der Kalimba genau auf sich hat, wird uns Phia sicher gern gleich selbst berichten. Aber erstmal hören wir uns einen Song von ihr an. Hier ist für euch No Good.
Revisionist, rewriting the history books. You're a revisionist, and you are up to no good. You're a revisionist, rewriting the history books. You're a revisionist, and you are up to no good. Yo! yeah, revisionist, rewriting the history books, yeah, a revisionist, and it's all up to no good, yeah, a revisionist, rewriting the history books, yeah, a revisionist, and it's all up to no good.
Thank you very much, Phia. Great to have you and Josh here with us in the studio.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you today?
Oh, very well, thank you.
That sounds good. I already told the audience that originally you're from Australia, right? When and why did you decide to come to Berlin?
Well, there's a few reasons. I think as an Australian, we felt like we really wanted to come and explore Europe, and it's so expensive to get over here. So we thought, well, we may as well move here for a while to make the plane fare worth it. And we'd heard some really good things about Berlin, that it was a good place like to meet other artists and make music, and it was a very free and open sort of city. So we thought, why not Berlin?
Okay. I also read that you had a family connection to Berlin. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. And that was definitely in the back of my mind as well when we were deciding. My grandfather actually came from Berlin. And
cool.
My grandma came from Vienna, and they met in Australia. Like, they left independently and met at a classical music concert at the Melbourne Town Hall. In Melbourne. So there's no family left here, but it does mean that I do have a German passport, which makes things very easy.
Oh, yeah.
for me.
Okay, I see.
So, yeah.
How is it different to be an artist in Berlin or in Melbourne? Is there a difference at all?
Well, it's an interesting one. I think Josh and I have thought about it a lot because we're doing very different things and we feel very different here. But you don't know how much that's different because of the cities are different or because you change. You know, when you move to another country, you do things differently and you try new things because you're like, well, we're only here once, you know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Melbourne has the most it has such a great music scene, similar and also different to Berlin. I mean, the most obvious difference is that in Berlin you can get on a train and be in the Netherlands the next day, or Poland the same day. Unfortunately, you can't do that in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's true. And we saw that already. You're using a rather unusual instrument. It's called the Kalimba. I would like to know, how did you come across this instrument? I mean, it's not something you see every day.
No, it's not. I came across it a few years ago. I was playing a lot of piano at the time, so I was doing that very seriously. I was doing it at university, and I started getting interested in toy instruments. So I had a little toy piano and also a glockenspiel, and then I was out at a gig one day and saw someone bring out a kalimba for one of the songs in this indie pop band. So I thought that I should, you know, that would be a nice addition to my toy instrument collection. But of course, so I went online and bought it, and it came, and then I never wanted to play piano again because I just fell in love with the kalimba. So, yeah.
Is it much easier than playing the piano, or do you think it's almost the same?
Well, it's easier because you only have to use 2 fingers rather than 10 fingers. But I think definitely piano has helped because you use your thumbs. So you need that sort of, when you play piano, you do lots of scales and you use your thumbs a lot. So I think that's helped me.
Okay. And how did you learn to play the instrument? I mean, did you teach yourself?
The kalimba? Yeah, it was self-taught, and it was really a lovely experience because with piano I had so many years of theory. So I knew
You studied piano, is that right?
Yeah, I did. I studied jazz piano, so I had like all the chords and all the scales and everything in my head. So when I'd sit down at the piano, there was too many possibilities because I could just like do the maths of the music. And then when I picked up the kalimba, I had no idea what the notes were. So it was just like playing by ear for the first time in a really long time. So that was really fun.
But you didn't always use the kalimba for your songs. You did some music before you discovered this instrument. What other instruments do you play except the kalimba and the piano?
Well, I would say they're definitely my main instruments. I do play a little bit of guitar, but I generally leave that up to Josh. We will have 2 songs that I've written on the guitar on the upcoming album, so that will be fun. Yeah.
Okay. And another thing you're using is your Loopstation.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yep.
Yeah. I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is that more of an alternative to a real band for you, or is it more of a gimmick, or how would you describe that?
Well, it started off as an alternative to a real band because when we were deciding to come to Europe, I used to have a band, like a full band, and then I bought the loop pedal and realized how like liberated I felt that I could go get on a plane and then I could make my music myself anywhere I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't have to rely on other people. And then I started really loving it for like the tool that it is, and it's really like changed the way I write music. And so I went through this period where I just played loop pedal, like just by myself for about a year and a half. And then just in the last 6 months, when Josh has started producing the album, I've allowed him to join the band. Yeah.
That's pretty nice of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, then let's hear another one of your songs then. Hier ist Phia für euch mit Open Closed.
Open or is it closed? Was it so hard for me to know? Am I open or am I closed? Am I open or am I closed?
Thank you very much. During my research for this interview, I read quite often that people compare you to artists like Regina Spektor or Feist. Do you like these comparisons? Are these artists you look up to?
Definitely. I've definitely listened to a lot. I listened to a lot of Feist, and there was a period when I really found Regina Spektor very inspiring. So, I mean, it's really lovely when people hear some of that in me. I'm quite touched by that. So,
yeah, nice comparison.
Yeah, I'm not going to say no. Yeah.
So, musical influences, other bands or other Loopstation artists, maybe?
Yeah. I really admire Tune Yards, who is a woman from America who makes really
she's great.
She's amazing music.
Yeah.
So I love watching her live videos and seeing what she does. She always does something really interesting that I've never thought of. What are our other musical influences, Josh?
Good question.
We listen to a lot of Beatles as well. I would say the Beatles are a big influence from a totally different perspective. Would you say with the guitar?
Yeah, I mean, they have very interesting ways of arranging their songs. They're great songwriters, but the way they bring them to life with their instruments and their recordings is very influential. And they were sort of like, I mean, there was Buddy Holly, who really used the recording studio really to an advantage. But I think the Beatles really took it to the next level after, I don't know, maybe Sgt. Pepper's or something.
Yeah, so we listen to a lot of contemporary stuff and also some old stuff as well.
Good mix.
Yeah.
I also saw your cover versions of Radiohead's 15 Steps, for example, or MIA's Paper Planes, which I love, by the way.
Thanks.
Is this your way to pay tribute to your musical heroes and influences?
Definitely. I think it sort of started off as like, it was fun trying to work out a way to use the loop pedal to play, like MIA, that was the first cover that I did. And it was great not thinking about, I wasn't writing the song. So I was just like taking the ideas and then trying to channel it through this new way. And then it's really fun. Like I think MIA is really an inspiring, gutsy artist. So I love getting up there and trying to, deliver her to the audience. And then obviously Radiohead are very inspiring as well. So it's, it's sort of like, saying to people, I really like this music and this is my own take on it. Yeah.
On your Facebook page, your music is described as DIY experimental pop. DIY stands for do-it-yourself.
Yeah.
What do you like about this DIY movement or idea of DIY, and how does it reflect on your music?
Good questions. I feel like the DIY movement really encourages relationships between artists. So there's no competition, or like everyone's in it together and everyone's trying to put on really great musical nights and collaborations. I really felt that when I got to Berlin. I think there's a really great DIY scene here with like sort of like folk DIY, and everyone was just so encouraging, they would see me once and be like, oh, you got to come to this party, we're going to have this jam, or you got to come and do this. And I just felt so like embraced by that. And I really love that sort of like everyone in it together vibe, which I really try and get through with the music as well, that like anyone can do it. I don't think music should be like, oh, it's only for people who have trained, or only, it's like, it should be like, I would love people to come to my show and then be like, I want to do that, and then go off and do it. So yeah, that sounds nice. I think it's already time for another song of yours. Hier ist für euch So Far, So Close.
I'm living in the city where my grandfather was born. his life. I wonder and I hear the language that he spoke, and it takes me back to when I was a child. When I was a child, I had to come so far to feel so close. I had to come so far to feel so close. How far do you have to go before you find your way back? How far do you have to go before you find your way back home? Back home, your way back home. I visited the house where my grandmother grew up. From photographs I recognize a chair, a chest of drawers. I look out the window and I see the view she saw, and it takes me back to when I was a child. When I was a child, I had to come so far to feel so close. I had to come so far to feel so close. I had to come. How far do you have to go before you find your way back? How far do you have to go before you find your way back? I had to. How far do you have to go before you find your way back? How far do you have to go before you find your way back? How far do you have to go before you find your way back? How far do you have to go before you find your way back I know I'll never see them again. I'll never be a child again, go back to that time again. I'll never set foot in their amazing CDs, their terrible CDs, industrial CDs. I had to come so far to feel so close. I had to. How far do you have to go before you find your way back? How far do you have to go before you find your way back? How far do you have to go before you find your way back? How far do you have to go before you find your way back? Back home, your way back home. I'm living in the city where my grandfather was born, where he walked the first years of his life.
Das war Phia mit So Far, So Close. A song that I guess describes you moving to Berlin and feeling closer to your like family history with your grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it very much.
Thank you.
You already played solo shows in the Netherlands, Germany, and Australia, of course. And also you played festivals like Fusion Festival, Haldon Pop, and you're about to play Field Festival this summer.
Yeah.
What do you like better, playing festivals or club shows, solo shows?
Well, it's funny. I actually feel really lucky that the music that we make allows me to do both because, I mean, Fusion Festival was amazing. That was definitely my highlight of last year. It was like 500 people just all in front of me. Like the energy was just so amazing. And that felt really special. But I played this really great show just in January in Cologne it was actually in a lingerie store run by this really lovely French woman. She invited me to come play and I played it almost totally acoustic. And it was just in this tiny little shop and everyone was sitting on the floor. And I had this very little amp with my kalimba, and that also felt really special as well. So I feel like, I feel really happy that the music can sort of work in both ways.
And before you're playing your shows, do you have a special ritual you're doing?
No, we should have one, but we don't.
Yeah, you should establish one.
Yeah.
It's always a great story.
Yeah, and like a really like exciting rider, like red M&Ms for Josh. And
yeah. That would be great.
Yeah.
You're planning on releasing your debut album this year. You're already working on this.
Yeah.
How far along are you in this process?
Well, I would say we're about 80% recorded. So we've just got 2 songs to do, which are the guitar ones because they were giving me a little bit of trouble. So we're going to Australia for 6 weeks, and then when we're back in April, we're doing a Germany tour in April, which will be great with a Berlin show, and then after that tour, we're gonna just sit down and like really just finish the album and get it mixed, and then see how we're gonna release it.
Okay, so you don't have a release date yet.
Not yet. We're fielding offers. Yeah.
Okay, but can you tell us something about what it will sound like, what we can expect from it?
Yeah. Well, it's I mean, at the heart of it, it's the kalimba and my voice, and we're using like the live arrangements that we've started working on. But then Josh is sort of then once we've recorded that, he's sort of taking them and taking the spirit of the song and really trying to get it to its absolute peak. Like, what is this song about? What do we want people to feel when they've got this song? Because what's so cool about recording is that we don't actually have the limitation of the loop pedal, which is, you know, every 4 bars it has to come around again. So that's sort of where Josh comes in and sort of breathes some like freshness into the songs.
Okay. I'm very excited for the album. But unfortunately our time is up now. I'm very sad. I liked the interview so much. I hope you had fun too.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you very, very much. Ja, liebe Zuhörerinnen und Zuhörer und auch Zuschauer, das war es für heute schon wieder mit der Popsession. Falls ihr euch die Sendung noch einmal ansehen möchtet, könnt ihr das gerne tun, und zwar auf unserem YouTube-Channel unter www.youtube.com/alexberlintv, und anhören könnt ihr euch das Ganze auch nochmal auf soundcloud.com/alexradio. Und jetzt hören wir tatsächlich die erste Single aus dem Debütalbum von Phia, und zwar heißt die Do You Ever, und ich wünsche euch viel Spaß damit.
Do you ever think about me? I think about you.